Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and today we're talking about The Punisher from 1989. Do you remember this one? Did you know this even existed? Today on Hack the Movies.
Tapes, we're talking about tapes.
Hello, Gil.
Hello, Tony.
We're talking The Punisher.
I know John Bernthal, Thomas Jane. I can't wait.
No,
Very excited.
different one. Yeah. Dolph Lundgren. Because, you know, in the 80s, they had him play a live-action version of a cartoon character, and it did very poorly. And then someone said, let's do that again for a comic book. And no one went, hey, that's a bad idea. They just tried this, and it didn't work. Spoiler, it also didn't work a second time. Although it's not a bad movie, I think.
The 1989 Dolph Lundgren Punisher?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into it, but yeah.
Yeah, this is hot off of He-Man, all right? He just did He-Man. He still hasn't really mastered the English language yet. Luckily, the movie doesn't give him too much dialogue.
The Punisher is a man of few words. So
that's where it benefits him. Whereas He-Man, I think that documentary, Stallone visited the set of that movie the one day. Because, you know, they worked on Rocky IV together.
Right.
And apparently he leaned over to the guy because he was watching them film the scene. And he went, wait, you gave him lines? Why would you give him lines? Famously for that movie, he was supposed to be dubbed. And then Canon Pictures was like, we don't have money for the dubbing. Just use whatever he said. It's like, no! 1989, this is a New Horizon picture, I think. This is Roger Corman's company. They put out a lot of movies around that time. The Hellraiser films were under their banner. This did not come out in America.
Right. Yeah, it was direct to video in America. Internationally, it was released in theaters.
Except for Sweden and South Africa.
Okay.
I don't know why the three of us got the shaft on the Punisher movie.
The Swedes still haven't gotten over that.
Directed by Matt Goldbat, who did Dead Heat. Have you ever seen Dead Heat?
No.
Dead Heat is awesome. It's got Treat Williams. It was about like a cop who dies. Investigating some kind of science thing, and then he's like brought back to life as a zombie, but he's decaying, so he only has 12 hours to solve a crime. I watched it last night after watching this movie. I'm like, I forgot how much I like Dead Heat.
That actually, can we shut this down and just watch that instead? That sounds awesome.
So he only directed 2 movies, Dead Heat and Punisher, and like a TV show, but he's a pretty famous editor. He's done a ton of huge action films. He did like a couple of the Rambo sequels. He did Terminator 2, X-Men 3. He's done, if you look at his IMDb, you're like, holy shit, those are all like, well, X-Men 3 is not great, but like it has decent editing when it comes to all the action scenes.
It's surprising to find out. You watch the 89 Punisher to find out this guy was involved in a franchise as big as the X-Men.
Yeah.
Even if 3 wasn't that good, it was at the height of the franchise. Yeah.
But also all these other like action movies he did. I'm like, oh shit, he was like the action movie editor guy. It's a shame his directing career didn't take off, but I think it's just he got stuck with 2 movies that didn't really perform well. And I guess we mentioned it stars Dolph Lundgren. I think it was supposed to be Christopher Lambert from Highlander.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw there were a few names that I think were tossed around.
There was one guy. I saw one guy kept being included in those names. He had to come out and be like, I was never going to be the Punisher. I forget which one it was. But yeah, they gave the role to Dolph. I don't know why. I don't know why they gave it to Dolph. Like,
well, I think, you know, going back to what we said before, the Punisher is a man of few words. And I feel like getting the stature right, tall guy, strong, and as long as he can talk like this for the few lines he has, I actually thought he worked well in the movie. That's one of the few elements I liked in this movie.
And they let him change the dialogue. And add stuff to make it easier for him to say stuff. The opposite of James Cameron with Schwarzenegger, when he was just like, can I say I will be back? That's easier. And James was like, no. And then Arnold was like, well, I hope no one makes fun of the way I say this for 40-something years. Yeah, and the big thing about this movie that the people who do know it remember is that no Punisher logo on the shirt.
Right, yeah, technically right now, I am a more on-screen accurate Punisher than Dolph Lundgren was.
And that really used to bother me too. Like I watched this movie years ago and I didn't really remember a lot about it. I remember there was a lot of shooting.
Yes, that's true.
But I remember being annoyed that he didn't have the logo on his shirt. And the director came out and said, like, I didn't want him to have the comic book outfit. And I guess he thought the comic book outfit was a package deal. He's like, oh, I didn't want him to have like the spandex and the white and stuff. Yeah, but you could have just had the skull. Like you didn't need. No one would have been upset if he wasn't wearing the bright blue outfit, but like the skull would have been fine.
Yeah, and it's, you know, they shy away from like, okay, this is such a serious guy who's like going out there and psychotically killing criminals. Is he really the kind of guy who's like, what outfit should I wear for this? And I think he is that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is he's going out there trying to scare the criminals. He is psychotic.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you don't need to overthink. Why would he put a skull on his shirt? Like even the Netflix Punisher, I thought they did a pretty good job with that. But even they felt the need to invent like all these reasons why, there was like the X-ray of his skull and they have to work up to, we're going to get that skull on there somehow. It's
Yeah,
like,
and then he gets it, and they're like, then he's gonna throw it away.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he's gonna get it again, and then he's gonna give up again. It's like, can he just have the fucking thing?
That is kind of like the go-to storytelling these days. Is like, what do people want? Take it away, and then just kind of dangle it. Like, keep watching, you might get it later.
Yeah, but it's just like, no, you can only do that like once.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Like he's the Punisher now.
No, you can do it. Yeah, I mean, every season of Daredevil is like, I can't go back to that life.
Yeah, that's actually one of the nicer things about the new ones, where it's just like he's Daredevil again. He's Daredevil.
Yeah.
He's wearing the suit. He's not going to take 10 episodes to get back into his suit. He's there.
Yeah.
And Frank is wearing his outfit, which is nice. I think that was a big mistake because this was the summer of Batman '89. And all the marketing was the Bat logo.
Yeah, we were talking about this. And on the one hand, I think Punisher, especially at the time, wouldn't have been super recognizable.
Still.
But it's still having a logo of some kind, having a skull. Even if you don't know what it is, you still look at it and it gives it some character.
Yeah.
It gives the average film goer the impression, okay, this isn't just an average action thriller. It's got some kind of comic book tie.
Yeah.
Like you said, especially if it's around the time of Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bat symbol. Well, there's a skull symbol. That's interesting. What's this skull guy all about?
Most of the posters for Batman were just the bat symbol. I know there were like some variations, but a lot of it was just bat emblem. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
And there was like proven history because like also Superman years prior just had the S logo really and like in the clouds. So I don't know. That was like not the year where you don't do that.
Yeah.
That was the year you probably should have done that.
Yeah. Though I don't know if it would have. That was not the make or break variable in this
Yeah,
movie.
true.
And they snuck it in there in a few ways, right? Like
Yeah.
it's on the end of the knife.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it the first time I watched. I went back a second time. I was like, oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
there is a
I think the
little
director
skull
has
there.
since come out and said that was a mistake. He should have included the skull at
Yeah.
least, just to give it that little bit of comic book. The movie, it does feel very comic book-y. I'm not saying Punisher because I think I mentioned this before. I didn't really read Punisher books. I read books with Punisher in them.
Right.
It's one of those characters for me. I'm like, I like this character. I like when he pops up in a book I'm reading, but I've never really gone out to read all his books or anything. But I know you're a big Punisher fan, right?
I was. Yeah, the thing is, growing up, I was a huge Punisher fan, but in a lot of ways, I was like a theoretical fan because I didn't actually get my hands on that many Punisher comics.
Yeah.
I didn't have that much access to comics as a kid. And so I had a few issues I liked. I think the one that introduced me to him was the Marvel DC crossover they did way back when. And I remember as a kid, I was always so annoyed with Batman. I'm like, you let Joker live, and then he kills like 100 more people.
Yeah.
And then in this comic, Punisher gets his hands on him, and he puts a gun to Joker's head, and he's like, you're really going to let this scum walk away, Batman? And I was like, yeah, that's such a great point. It was only, I think, in college or a little bit after that, I finally read the whole Garth Ennis run on Punisher, where I think that's like the definitive Punisher, where he's borderline psychotic.
People love that one.
And it's like hard to read with how dark and gross it gets.
Yeah.
Like there's a morbid curiosity that would keep me going, where I'd read a few issues and be like, I gotta put this down for a little bit. Then a week later, I'm like, but how's he gonna kill the next guy? I gotta see this.
That's the one that the 2004 movie took a lot of inspiration from, right?
Well, I think Warzone even more so. The
Warzone, yeah, Warzone and the Max series, but we'll get to that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll get into this film.
Let's do it.
We'll get into this. Okay. Opens up on a tunnel with a bunch of colorful images of bad guys and Frank shooting the image. I thought that was a cool opening title sequence. I love the look of this film. That was, like 80s grit. It was the perfect time to make a Punisher movie.
It also calls to mind comics, just because it's like the still images of the different villains.
Yeah.
But it almost makes it look like he's shooting cardboard cutouts of them, because they're just photos, and then he's like shooting them. And then it starts doing the bullseye thing, though, which was starting to make me dizzy.
Yeah,
like
that bullseye logo goes on for a while. This is like that weird era of comic book movies where like Superman came out and like, oh, these could be like real movies. And that fizzled out pretty quick. And then on TV, you had like the Hulk and all these low budget shows, Spider-Man and stuff. And then the late 80s, like, okay, Batman. Like, oh, we can make movies serious again. And quickly fizzled out afterward. There were like a couple ups and downs there. Now we have like, okay, like now we know how to do them.
Yeah.
Pretty well, or at least we did up until a few years ago. Now we're back in another awkward phase.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're back and they're never going away again.
Cool opening logo there. He has this whole narration too, where he's like, God, why do you let the innocent die?
See, that sounded great. And that's why they could have got Dolph for anybody.
Cut to a news story. We learned about a lieutenant for the Franco family. I would have changed the name of the family because you got Frank and Franco.
Yeah, it does. It's just it's not that confusing, but why even risk it? That's one thought I had with a movie like this, where it's not trying that hard to be like a legitimately great movie. I think you got to take the low-hanging fruit, take the easy wins. Yeah. So, for example, to avoid any potential confusion, or another thing, like if you really want to make us hate these bad guys, show them killing his family, so you want to get revenge. But instead, it's like, newscast is just as good.
They did do that, and they cut it.
Oh, okay, smart.
They had the whole sting operation with them arresting him, which would have introduced that girl Sam way earlier, and then he was going to go home and his wife was going to get blown up, and with the family. So you would have seen all of that, and they decided, let's just get to the action quick. I actually don't mind that edit because I think we get everything we need to know. And through the flashes, I don't think we needed a scene. We get to the action. It's not like it's a complicated backstory.
No, I agree. I don't think you need it.
Yeah.
I think in some way you needed to communicate the emotional impact of it to get us. A lot of this movie, it's like he's killing bad guys that are theoretically bad. Like we know they're in the mob, but we don't actually see them doing a lot of evil. Yeah. So I think one way or another to give us that, one way to do it would be start with them killing his family.
Yeah, it is weird that like the first people he's attacked, it's like they're out of jail and not really. They are criminals. They probably will, but they weren't currently doing any crimes, so it's kind of awkward.
It's one of those things where I'm like, if you had just left well enough alone, let the guy have his little celebration, maybe things would have just been fine.
He could have had a meeting with other people. He could have gotten more of them. He's not very strategic. We learned throughout all these movies, Punisher's not very strategic until he has to be.
Yeah.
And keep in mind when this movie came out, action revenge stuff was like all the rage. So that's another reason I think we could have cut out. We were allowed to cut out the opening because, watching it now, we all feel differently. But at the time, people were like, I've seen a million movies like this. I don't really need it was like we don't need an origin story of its day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's like, they killed his family, he wants revenge. Got it. Don't need to see all of it. Let's go.
You might trigger some Punisher fans with a comment we just flew over where he said he's not very strategic. Yeah. I feel like Punisher at his best is extremely strategic, from his military.
I'm talking about like the movies.
No, but in a lot of the movies, it's very frustrating where like, his go-to move is walk in the front door. And I'm like, if it works, it works. But more often than not, you end up like tied up and tortured. So that does get frustrating sometimes. I think he walks through the front door after he's like cased the place. He knows exactly who's there. And he's like, this is a moment where I can walk through the front door.
It's ridiculous. The news story. Franco gets out. Franco was involved with killing his wife and kids.
Allegedly.
He's been serving jail time, but he's now off. The Rico trial fell apart because this poor witness just died.
I know. I hate when that happens.
I hate when that happens. There was this one witness that testified everything and they died. Isn't that a bummer? I love that he was already arrested and they appealed him. And he comes out, he's like, I'll appeal it more times. But since then, Frank Castle died. And coincidentally, a guy called the Punisher started killing all the families involved with the death of Frank Castle's family. Who could it be, I wonder?
Yeah, I don't know that you need that angle. They've done it in a few of these where it's like Frank is... I like the Frank is dead, metaphorically. But I don't know that you need the public... If they know he's alive, it's not like it makes it easier to find him.
Yeah.
If Frank's alive, let's check the sewers. It doesn't work that way.
Well, okay, maybe this is where I do need a little bit of an explanation. It doesn't make sense in this one when we see like what the attack on his family was. It's like, well, what did he just run away all burnt? Why do they all think he's dead?
True.
Did his body disappear? Was there a funeral? Like, how did he disappear.
They blow up the car with his wife and kids in it.
Yeah.
But he's not in the car. So yeah, did he like quickly throw a body in there to make it look like he's dead? I don't know.
It makes more sense in 2004 because he like gets washed away at sea and they just assume he's dead because he's been missing for months. But yeah, the hero just like, but wait, where did he go after getting blown up? Why does he have no burns? But
I do like depicting him as this shadowy figure where it's, there's this Punisher guy out there.
No.
And I feel like from the bad guy's perspective, that's what it should feel like.
Yeah.
He's like the Grim Reaper. It's like, you got away, we're good. But what about Punisher? Nah, it's just a legend. I'm not worried about that. But he'll get you.
yeah, but he's killed 125 mobsters. That's a lot of mobsters.
I feel like every movie has a really badass line that underscores how many people he killed. It reminds me of like Rambo had a great line. Like, all I'm saying is if you're going to go after him, you're going to have to bring a lot of body bags. Now John Wick goes so far where it's like a 10-minute speech about, let me tell you about John Wick. But back then,
He did all of this
with a pencil.
and he's the most badass guy in the world, except that time that tiny woman beat him up in her own movie. But other than that, he's the most badass guy in the world. So Moretti gets out. He's shit talking to everyone. He's like, I'm a free man. It reminds me of Daredevil, the Ben Affleck one where the rapist gets out of jail and he throws himself a I got out of jail party. It's like, I don't know if I'd be doing this right now, man. So yeah, he goes home. We see Frank following him on his cool ass motorcycle. He doesn't have the van in this one. I'm sorry. Are you a big pun? What's his van called? Does it have a name?
Yeah.
Is the War Wagon? Am I making that up?
The not War Machine.
It's not War
that's
Machine.
Iron Man's friend. No, I don't remember.
I think it's the War Wagon.
Yeah, no, this one he has a motorcycle that he rides around in the sewers. Which, I love the different depictions of sewers you see in different movies. I'm like, if I watch like Dark Knight Rises, there's a kingdom underground. If
I know.
go in the sewer.
Remember Defenders underneath New York? There were dragon bones.
I remember. It was so funny because it's.
Are we ever getting back to that? Wait, remember when the only way you could get in there was to punch a door with the iron fist, but then somehow the Punisher gets washed out to the river? Like, how did he get out? I thought there was only one entrance. He will have the new van in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
That's right, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Frank breaks into their giant mansion. Again, but speaking of Daredevil, wearing full body leather, he probably sounds like...
Especially when he's like going through the vents and everything.
He's just trying, and like to the movie's credit, he like sneaks in for 1 second. Some guy goes, "Hey, who's here?" And I'm like, "All right, that actually was realistic." Now I'm actually glad the movie pointed that out. Like he's really not in there long.
No.
So yeah, he breaks in. He gets a guy in the mirror room.
Right. Which I hated that just because it's not fair to blame this movie, but by now I've seen so many mirror room kill scenes. At least I didn't do like, I'm over here. No, actually,
well, that's what I was. I actually liked it because I was expecting that. And I like that it throws you off because he just comes from the top of the frame because you're constantly looking behind the dude and all the reflections. Then
that's
rope
true,
comes.
actually. That's a fair point. Yeah, he kicks him with like a shoe knife or a boot knife thing. Yeah.
Kills him. He's killing them one by one. And I love that the news they were still hanging out outside. I didn't realize they were there. Was there an establishing shot that showed the news was there?
Yeah, you definitely. I went back to rewatch it a couple times. I was like, wait a minute. Like you see the news, they're all moving up closer to the house, and then the house explodes. Like, where are they? I think they took like a wide shot, but obviously they don't want people near the explosion. The whole geography of it felt really weird.
I guess I just missed that the news was there because it cuts to the news's reaction. I'm like, oh, they're outside. But yeah, he blows up the house, and then Moretti walks out with like a knife in his back. I think
so. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Frank just stands in the doorway, and they're like, "That's the Punisher!"
Holy shit, the Punisher!
It's him! Moving very close up!
And then he walks in the house, and there's a second explosion that he did not have enough time to run from.
No.
But I guess he's just immune to explosions in the face.
Maybe he found like he went through the pipes back to the sewers.
Got on his motorcycle. He drove his motorcycle into the toilet down the sewer. I do like that moment though, where he's like in all the smoke and stuff. And like, it's him.
It does look cool. Like I feel like this movie would function best as a YouTube supercut of just cool Punisher moments.
Yeah. Frank is demanding God grant him justice, and he's naked.
Yeah.
That was like a thing that was happening in movies. I think Die Hard 2 showed the bad guy doing karate naked and everything. I
That's
don't know
true,
what's up with naked dudes in action movies.
It worked for me here because
The naked guy worked for you. Okay, I'm glad we got that on camera. All right, keep going.
You want him to be like a crazy. He's barely human anymore. It's kind of like in the new Batman of Pattinson, where they stuck to their guns and had the black makeup under his eyes.
Yeah.
And, we're going to acknowledge it. And he's living in a castle like Dracula. They make him seem barely human, like a mutant. And I feel like you got Dolph Lundgren naked, and it's awesome. He's in the sewer and he's all dirty.
So Dolph Lundgren naked is awesome. You know what's funny? Joey C said the exact same thing. I couldn't believe
I'm
it.
in good company.
And I said, "How did you feel about the rest of the movie?" And he's like, "I turned it off after that." So yeah, he's just brooding, classic vigilante, dark vigilante.
I like that we
brooding.
get voiceover because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times when I read, especially Punisher or Batman, some of my favorite parts are just the badass voiceover lines.
Yeah, we don't get that too much in comic book movies. The
No.
new Batman did it a little bit.
Yeah, I thought they did it well. And like
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns, some of my favorite lines were like, the rain is like a baptism on my chest. Or like when he's just in his mind describing the various ways he's wounded the bad guys. He's like, I just broke his femur bone. He'll be in the hospital for 6
Funny,
months.
but now looking back, I'm just like, man, you sound like a blogger. You
Yeah,
sound
I
like a
know.
blogger in 2003. Batman has a Vampire Freaks account where he's
Yeah,
just
it's like-
talking.
I
moody.
know why they don't include it in the adaptations. Like, you can't do it. And even in this movie, they barely do. But I was glad we got a little taste of it.
I
at the
forgot
beginning and
that.
at the end.
So I showed the twins the first Spider-Man movie, and I forgot that he like narrates in
I
the
know.
beginning
It's
and then
weird.
never again, and then narrates at the end. It's like, wait, what?
He's like every story, it's about a girl. I'm like, is it though?
But yeah, it's just like, I'm like, wait, you're not gonna do the narration all throughout. It's weird that it just bookends the movie. Okay, so he gets the flashback here to his family dying, which again would have been part of like a bigger story. Which do they? Hold on. Yeah, okay. They include a picture of the deleted scene on here.
Okay, cool.
See, it's Sam as the hooker, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that's the blue shirt he wears
She
during the.
references it, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the blue shirt he's wearing during the car bombing scene. So like literally, he just got done, and then they attack. It's kind of like the 2004 movie where he's part of that sting operation, and then his family gets attacked.
Yeah, I heard
Which-
there was like a director's cut of this, which I haven't seen. I've only seen the theatrical. but I'd be curious.
of
to see
this
it.
one?
I think so. Yeah. And then there's the director did a commentary on it. I'd be curious to hear, but
Oh, yeah, I didn't have the
look it
Blu-ray.
up. Cut this out if I'm wrong.
That's
But-
okay. Punisher lore. Wasn't it usually, I don't know if it's been retconned, but isn't it usually like it was two gangs fighting and they got caught in the crossfire?
That's the story I know. I think that's the original. Is that literally they're caught in the crossfire.
Okay. I feel like, with the exception of Warzone, maybe, I feel like every adaptation, even like the new MCU one, it's part of this bigger conspiracy where they were targeted.
Yeah, 'cause
Well, in 2004, it was like they were 100% targeted. Same with this. And then the MCU, it felt like it was a random act, and then you find out that it was kind of like orchestrated by the government or
there's like
something.
more layers to it. I feel like it comes from a place of they don't want to lean into the insanity of it, which is that getting revenge isn't that hard. You kill the people involved, but then it doesn't fill that hole in his heart. So he just keeps killing. It becomes an obsession.
Yeah.
And that can be gross and off-putting to, I think, an average film goer.
Yeah.
So they're like, we need to invent a more complicated plot that got his family killed.
Yeah.
So the revenge is genuinely not done yet. He has more people to reasonably kill as part of the revenge.
Now,
I think that's part of it.
I like the other one. It's like, you know what? I think I just got to kill more people.
Exactly. That's the one I want.
It's like Batman, he's just like, I'll never find my parents' killer, or my parents' killer died, but it's more about justice.
Exactly.
Although in Frank Castle's way, it's about vengeance more than justice, really.
No,
he
no,
just
it's about punishment.
hates criminals. He hates mobsters. He's kind of like Blade, where we talk about this all the time on Blade Boys. Blade isn't really a good guy. He just wants to exterminate a race of beings. He doesn't really try to help humans. He just wants to kill
You don't
vampires.
get- I just hate him so
He
much.
just hate, there's literally an episode of Blade where you find out like his gang, when he was younger, he like inadvertently made them all vampires. And then at no point in the episode does he feel guilty about it with the benefit of hindsight. He's like, yeah, I'm going to kill them. Like, yeah, but it's your fault, Blade. You did it. You weren't in control of yourself, but like you should have some kind of like, I wish I didn't do that. I should have known better. I should try to help. He's like, nah, gotta kill them. They're evil. Like, you're the bad
That's
guy.
awesome.
Like, I know the vampires are bad, but I also think you're kind of bad, man.
But that's what makes these characters so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like the pathological principles. Where I'm like, I guess it fits your MO, but like, you got
And they're never really trying to better themselves, because you will have characters, even in this movie, where they're like, hey, I don't think you're going about this the right way. And then they're always just like, their answer is like, I got to kill a bunch of people smarter. It's like, no, I feel like we got lost in the weeds.
I think that's the challenge of making a Punisher movie. Is that because if this were any other story, it'd be about taking this broken guy and like somehow finding redemption and he betters himself. But nobody wants to see that story.
No.
It would be like Dr. House. If suddenly he got happy, the show's over.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, well, we got to keep writing Punisher stories, so
Yeah.
he can't find peace or resolution. It's got to keep going.
Right.
Unless it's like a self-contained story arc or something like that. But we go to the house explosion, and we get to meet famous Jewish detective Berkowitz, played by, when I have to cast a Jewish actor, I always go to Louis Gossett Jr. Now you texted me about this.
I was just surprised he had that last name. That's all.
Maybe he was adopted.
Yeah. Sure.
You know, Italians and Jews get together, and Italians are basically black. That's what Manny keeps telling me, and I agree with him.
He's very tired. It's 2:00 in the morning. Don't you people have anything better to do? And then the chief detective shows up. It must be pretty important for you to come out at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's like, we get it. It's late. You're a police officer, okay?
Yeah.
These are the things you deal with.
And then Louis Gossett Jr. is like, "Oi, vey, would you have appreciated? Do you think the character was written Jewish and they got Louis Gossett Jr. and they just like, let's not change his name?"
I think they probably wrote the name into the script. The casting director brought somebody in, and everybody was too afraid to say anything.
It was like, should we change the name? No, what's wrong with the name? Nothing.
Go ahead. What is it?
Doesn't really look like a Berkowitz, but all right, whatever. I love back then they would just be like, fuck it. Yeah. Now there would be like some kind of explanation, like I was adopted and blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, screw it. He's just Berkowitz, whatever.
Yeah, if you're going to cut something from the movie, it's like once you cut his family getting killed, it's like you can't leave in the Berkowitz adoption scene.
But yeah, so he investigates the explosion. He's the one who's been saying Frank is the Punisher.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's crazy. You mean the guy whose body we can't find and has the most reasons in the world to kill all these dudes?
And
why do you think it's him?
When they mention the story in the newscast, they show a picture of Frank with his family.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think that's Dolph Lundgren. You put up a picture of it in the edit, but it doesn't look like
he has
him.
different hair.
Okay, maybe that's all it is. Because I was like, we also saw him after the house exploded. Now they've got Frank on camera.
Yeah.
But maybe people are like, it's not the same guy.
Yeah, it was too much smoke. They couldn't see it. And it's VHS quality.
Yeah,
you know.
fair.
But I think the idea we're supposed to get from here is that like the cops do know it's Frank and they're kind of embarrassed and they're like, no, we can't stop. Don't let us know that don't let the people know that the cops are doing this.
Yeah, it doesn't make us look good.
Yeah, it makes us look kind of bad. You know, the NYPD needs to look really good. This is New York, by the way. They go to Coney Island at one point.
Right.
Now, look, I don't spend as much time in New York as you. Does New York look like Sydney, Australia? Did it look like Sydney, Australia in the late 80s? I don't know. I wasn't there. But it kind of looks like Sydney, Australia. Yeah, it was shot in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, I was reading between the lines there.
Yeah.
I was like,
and I was looking at him like, I spent a lot of time in New York. This doesn't really look like New York.
No. I mean, if it would be fun to put together like a movie rendition of New York based on all the different depictions of it.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the Punisher version. Here's like the Scream 7 version, or the Scream 6 version.
Yeah.
Let's just stitch it all together.
Did they even have like any landmarks in this?
I don't remember. Like, I kept having to remind myself it's New York.
Yeah, they had
no
to.
Point did I get that sense?
They had to at least do like the Friday 13th Part 8. Like, just show us the Empire State Building once in a while.
Like one shot of him standing in Times Square.
Yeah. He should have. If they were smart, he would have walked past Jason.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know who Jason is. He's like, that goalie's just walking around.
Actually, it's funny. The director, he said that when they first brought him the script for this movie, he was like, this is too dark. It's basically Jason Voorhees with a machine gun.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see that.
Yeah,
movie.
that's
That
a great
awesome.
movie. So yeah, Sam meets up with Berkowitz. I'm sorry, it's just going to make me laugh now. But she mentions, I worked with you previously.
It was my first assignment, plain clothes. I was the hooker.
Oh, right.
She says it with such a smile on her face.
I know, but I love that he goes, "Oh, that was you."
Yeah.
But she wants to be his partner, but he doesn't have partners anymore.
You think you're the first one to walk in here wanting to be my partner?
Yeah. But she's like, "Hey, I know that Frank is the Punisher." He's like, "Okay, maybe you will be my partner."
Well, and he says
He's the
it
only
like-
one not calling me crazy.
And then he says, "You better be at my office, 9 o'clock sharp." Like as if that's like so early. You know,
It's 2 a.m.
like-
now.
Yeah.
She could go to the. She'll probably be there early.
Exactly.
She has nowhere else to go. She could just go to the police department and chill for a bit.
Yeah.
Wasn't that hard to do. So yeah, now too many of members of the Franco crime family have died, and it's forced Gianni Franco to return to America.
That's right.
From Europe and manage things. This is how much the Punisher has fucked him up. He has a dinner with his son, who the guy asks him how his fancy European schools are treating him, and he shows him a dumb magic trick
Yeah.
that I've seen like homeless people do. I don't know why that was so impressive.
I think they were like, we need to establish that they have kids.
Yeah.
And that they care about their kids. So we have this, stakes later
Which
on. when
I
the
am
kid-
glad they did that a little bit.
Yeah.
The other movies would have been like, they kidnapped this kid. It's like, I don't know who that kid is. Is
Yeah,
this kid
exactly.
an asshole? I appreciate it a little bit. It was just funny. He's like, what did they teach you in the schools? He's like, street magic. I'm like, that's not.
But
what?
they also establish he's a good kid because he gives
is.
the quarterback.
He does. So yeah, shows off his lame magic trick. He tells his associate there after he sends the kid away that he wants to get all the families together. He's tired of warring with families. He's like, look, I got a big shipment coming in. We all have to work together. Each family can be a part of this, and we will be stronger, especially since all their people are getting wiped out by the goddamn Punisher. They kind of need to come together. And then some rambling drunk guy gets kicked out of a bar.
It is funny because when they're talking about the mobsters, what to do about the Punisher,
Yeah.
he's like, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
First we consolidate, then we obliterate. And that's the first introduction that this movie, it enjoys rhyming. Because this thespian we're about to meet, he kind of goes in and out of his rhyming.
Yeah, I was going to say,
throughout
he
the
doesn't
movie.
rhyme all the time, does he?
Which bothered me because I was
Yeah.
like, if you're going to do the bit, commit to the bit. But he just will randomly go into like 6 sentences in a row that rhyme.
It's like Leprechaun. Sometimes he's rhyming and then he doesn't. It's just
Pisses
like,
me off.
You gotta pick one. I mean, it doesn't piss me off. I still watch those movies a lot. I hope I'm in Leprechaun 9. My good friend Michael Levy needs to get the job to make Leprechaun 9, and I gotta
He's
be in
promised you a role if he gets it.
it. I threatened him.
Okay.
I said, hey, I was joking about Terrifier 4 and stuff, but I told him I will be a problem if you do not put me. If you get Leprechaun and I'm not in it, I'm going to be a nightmare.
See, you're
for
learning
you.
from me. I told you too often as YouTubers, we offer the carrot. Subscribe for more videos you'll love. Become a member. I'll send you some props or whatever. No, put me in the what's the name of the movie?
Leprechaun 9.
Or else.
You're out.
Yeah, subscribe or else.
He's got to get it. I got to be in a Leprechaun movie so bad. I did recommend Leprechaun in the Space Hood. I thought that was one way to combine the two most popular ones. Okay, yeah. So the RC truck is carrying liquor that he just follows.
That bothered me too because he clearly could have grabbed that bottle. He was obviously slowing down so he couldn't catch up to the RC truck.
Yeah, Gil, we can't really talk about it, but I was sharing some stories about a drunk guy who made some bad decisions recently. They don't really make the smartest decisions.
Can we test this? Let's set up a hidden camera, put a whiskey bottle on the RC truck, and let's see how it works in real life. This is our Mythbusters.
Okay, so he follows him to the Punisher.
Right.
And
Which
Punisher-
I love the shot where it pans up from this ridiculous thing to Punisher just like dead-eyed. You told me you would be here 4 hours ago.
4 hours ago. Now, so in the comics, at this point, he's still wearing spandex, right? Late 80s?
Probably, yeah, the white gloves and everything.
Okay, this is what I want to know, because Batman was technically rubber. Did this movie invent making your superhero into a leather daddy? Was this the one that set the trend?
It works for him.
It works. It works for him.
Not as
But
well as when he's in the sewer.
I love in the 80s and 90s, they're like, spandex is out, except for Dean Cain on TV, but forget about him. Spandex is out. It's only leather daddies or bulky rubber. For some reason, they gave the Flash bulky rubber in the 90s TV
Yeah, that's
show.
true.
And I'm like, I feel like that would cut down on how fast you can run. But I wonder if this is the first one that went, get rid of the suit, leather instead. I wonder. It's a trendsetter. This
The
movie.
director's watching this, and he's like, "So their complaints are that the guy could have caught the bottle off the RC truck, and it is not that the outfit he's wearing is not really practical."
I just think it's interesting that comic book movies went in that direction, and I think this might be the first one that did it. That's all. Brian Singer was watching this in a theater, as long as it wasn't in America, Sweden, or South Africa, and he was like, I know when I get the X-Men one day, I know what I'm going to do.
I need that editor. And I need that outfit.
I think he only did X-Men 3. I don't think he worked with
Yeah.
Brian Singer. So yeah, he's mad because he was supposed to meet the guy 4 hours ago.
4 hours ago.
I don't know why his line delivery made me laugh at that one. But yeah, the informant tells him he knows where the drugs are coming in. It tells him that all the families will be there. We never learn how the informant is getting his information.
The implication, I guess, is he's just overhearing it at the bar. But are these mobsters, though? Like, this didn't look like the bar they'd be at, like,
Yeah.
just openly discussing all this. But
Yeah, wait, because all like the big, I guess these are the low level guys he's learning from.
yeah, it must be that.
But
yeah.
I love the whole like, no, I have to be drunk so they won't suspect me. I think maybe that's how he justifies his drinking. Like, no, I need to be completely shit faced, or else it won't be authentic. I'm an actor. It's like, you can fake it a little bit, buddy. I'm not a very good actor. It needs to be authentic. I love the two thugs almost kill each other over walkie-talkies.
Yeah, they're trying to show, I guess, because these are all the different families working together.
Yeah.
So we're seeing there's friction between them. He's like, how does this thing work? And he's like, you push this button, you idiot. And then he's like, oh, say that to my face. And he pulls out a gun.
The lady kind of confirms this in the next scene coming up, but I think this is an example of the Punishers killed all the good guys, and this is who they're left with. They're like, okay, well, we're left with two assholes fighting over a walkie-talkie because our good guys were murdered by the Punisher.
Yeah.
I just love that. The guy that pulls the gun to his head, the dude's like, can you not? Like, what the fuck?
The guys are all totally useless.
Yeah.
Like the ones who aren't fighting each other, like, how's it going up there? I gotta pee. Okay, wait, do you see the Punisher? Are there any issues?
And then we get to see this thug in a car, and I loved his white shirt with the black squiggly lines everywhere. I'm like, I gotta get that shirt. That's a cool fucking shirt. But he's like, no, I don't see the Punisher. And then boom, katana to the chest. And I was like, whoa. Again, I haven't watched this in a while. I'm like, wait, are there Yakuza ninjas in this? There are Yakuza ninjas in this.
Yeah, and ninjas are making the comeback in
Yeah.
Brand New Day.
Yes, the Hand. Spider-Man's gonna be fighting the Hand with the Punisher. The Hand is still around?
I mean, they haven't said that in any of the trailers or anything, but we assume it's the Hand, right?
I assume it is.
ninjas,
They're red
yeah.
ninjas. Didn't they have red outfits in the
I think
show?
so, yeah. That was stupid. It's obviously the Hand.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
I guess, are they in New York to get those dragon bones?
Yeah.
What did they do when the dragon bone plan fell
I don't know
apart?
what would be more surprising, if they bring the dragon bones back or Dolph Lundgren walks in and he's like, I'm from another world.
Oh, God, I'm so glad we're past the goddamn Deadpool and Wolverine rumors where they were like, Ben Affleck's coming back. I'm like,
yeah.
no, I don't think everyone is coming back. I think it's getting kind of annoying. Although now with Doomsday, everyone is coming back, but it's like the popular ones.
Yeah.
No one,
Which I think is like, not to get off topic, but get it out of your system. Let's get one big multiverse bash.
Yeah.
Everybody gets what they want, and then we can slim back
I'm
down.
going to be the one guy begging for the David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury. I'm going to be that guy. I actually want to revisit that movie. Ever watch that one?
No, I've read a bunch about it. I went down that rabbit hole, but I haven't actually watched
Not
it.
great. He looks like Nick Fury, though.
Yeah,
I remember
that's
seeing
true.
commercials as a kid. I'm like, that looks like Nick Fury. It's David Hasselhoff, who I love. The last year, I've been telling everyone all my TVs are set to the 24/7 Baywatch channel, so I've watched more David Hasselhoff than I ever have in my entire life.
Okay, I'm glad I know that about you.
And I also reviewed Anaconda 3 recently. He's the bad guy in it. I thought he was the hero, but he was the bad guy. Spoilers for Anaconda 3.
That must have just broken your brain. Like, not my Hasselhoff.
Not my Hasselhoff. He wouldn't do something like this. He's a hero. I sang the Baywatch theme at karaoke night.
Nice. Did you get what you wanted from that?
No,
experience?
the goddamn DJ Rick, who doesn't watch the show, called me out. He was just like, man, no one's going to remember this song. And I'm like, why would you say that before I start singing? You asshole. But before me, they had to go to YouTube to find the song because some nerdy dudes did an anime like theme song. And then I get up there, it's like, oh, no one's going to remember Baywatch. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I never even heard of that anime.
I had an even worse experience where I was at karaoke And I was like working up the courage to get up and sing. So I quietly add a song to the list, and then someone grabs the terminal. Like, what the hell is this? And they swipe it off, and they skipped it.
It's the worst.
And I was like, let me just quietly slink out of here. Like, Tony, they're making fun of me again.
So Japanese guys start taking out all the gangsters with ninja skills, and even the Punisher's like, what? Like, he's like spying on them. He's like, hold on. I'm not prepared for this. But I like that he shoots the arrow into the guy and then zip lines down. I'm like, I wouldn't trust that. I don't know how strong that cord is. I don't know if it actually made it into the truck.
Is that guy's pectoral muscles strong enough to like keep the arrow there?
I do like when the Japanese guys are pretending to be like harbor control or something.
Oh, yeah.
And they just shoot all of them. He joins the fight, but the ninjas knife him and toss him into the water. The next day, the detectives
shoot the water.
They shoot the water to make sure he's
dead. But if you watch the Mythbusters episode, when you shoot into water, the bullet only goes a few feet. But if you get 5 feet deep, and I'm sure Frank knows that.
Yeah, we talked about it in, what was it, John Wick 3, I think? Remember, he has to swim closer to the guy to actually shoot him?
I would say don't try this at home, but it definitely works. So you're fine.
And yeah, he was able to, get away and quickly, because leather doesn't weigh you down underneath water. Like, he's so fucking heavy.
He gets on his underwater motorcycle. He's just riding along the riverbed.
I was like Batman Forever when he falls into the water and then goes back up. I'm like, no, fuck you. He's going all the way down. So yeah, the detectives investigate. They're like, okay, this must have been the Punisher. And it's like, oh, he's using ninja stars now. And cut to the Punisher healing himself by like superheating a blade and cauterizing the wound. I'm like, yeah, but it's been a couple hours. You're probably already infected.
It was awesome either way, though.
It was cool. It's cool when you see them do it right away, but I'm just like, you have any antibiotic, buddy? Like, I don't think that's going to do enough.
He's got a superheated knife. He doesn't need an antibiotic. Pure willpower.
I'm just thinking of like the rest of the movie. Every time he throws a punch, I'm like, oh, is that thing opening back up? As someone who's been dealing with a bad knee for like 4 months now.
Give me a knife. Give me some fire. We'll take care of it.
No, I'm jealous of people in movies that are like, oh, I just got hit in the face with a barbell. I'm fine. And I'm like, fuck you, man. I can't walk down the stairs right now.
But a number of times in a movie, someone's like panicking, so just punch him in the head and knock him out.
Dude,
I don't know. When you wake up from that, I'm not sure like how healthy that is.
It's what I appreciate about Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, where he technically dies for like a minute and comes back and his brain's not really right away.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
No, is it the new Scream? I think the girl gets punched one of the killers gets punched in the face with something really heavy, and they're able to do a villain monologue. I'm like, fuck you. They'd be like, oh.
I think they have to reveal that it's like an armor-plated ghost face mask.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's how it works in these movies. So like you wear an Iron Man suit and you get thrown off a building.
Yeah, big fire knife to the shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm fine now. Yeah, but look, the knife went into you. So the Franco family learns all about the Yakuza, and they have a meeting with Lady Tanaka.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells them that they're weak, and last night was a demonstration to show them how fucked they all are. And this was an example of Japan panic. It's something that happened a lot in movies in 80s and the 90s, because in the 80s, the Japanese companies were like huge, and they were taking over everything. They made their way to the West and everything. And there's a lot of commentary in films around this time. You'll usually see like Japanese businessmen or some kind of like Japanese invasion. It was like a big thing, but it fell apart in the 90s.
Yeah.
So now when you go back, I love that this is the crime version of like that. They're like, even our American criminals are being taken over. But now when you go back and watch it, you're like, oh yeah, that was like a thing that everyone was worried about, and then it went away.
Well, it's nice to think that when they were writing this movie, they're like, we need to put some social commentary in here. What can we say about society?
It literally is the plot of RoboCop 3, was the Japanese company taking over OCP, which was already commentary on big companies. Like, even our American evil companies are now being bought out. And most recently, we talked about it in Suburban Commando, the Hulk Hogan movie. There's a whole subplot about the company that Chris, whatever his face is, works for, being bought out by the Japanese. So yeah, go back to the mid to late 80s, early 90s. You'll see this pop up here and there. But yeah, she's like, we're going to take everything and we want 75% of the profits.
Yeah, you run the day-to-day, we'll be the executive ownership, and we take 75%.
Yeah. And then she takes a cheap shot at Mediterraneans and like, hey, Those are my people, you jerk. Stop making fun of us. This seems like a weird edit, but Frank is listening to the meeting?
So the funny thing is, Frank's in his sewer and he's listening to the meeting.
On the speaker, yeah.
It looked, at the first time I saw it, it looked like a pipe. And so I was like, wait, is he like in the sewers and he's just like piped into every building? He's figured out like which bathroom it like echoes through, but it's a speaker. So yeah, I guess he must have snuck a bug in there at some point.
No, so I watch a lot of work print videos, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I learn sometimes how they make new scenes out of completely disconnected like footage. They can just create new narratives just by piecing things together. I'm pretty sure that was just a scene of him being all brooding. And they were like, wait, he needs to somehow get this information. How about we have this scene and make it sound like it's on a radio? And that's how he knows the information. But then you're right. There's like no establishing of like him putting a wire on someone. I'm like, wait, was he ever in that building? I feel like if the Punisher made it into that building, he wouldn't be planting microphones. He'd be blowing up the building. Yeah. So that part is like, I feel like they did that in post. And I'm like, what is the point of him listening in?
See, I could see it's awkward editing. I could see a version of it that works where Frank is just so badass. So it doesn't need explanation. It's like, of course he has ways of listening to all the mob's private dealings. But it did. I rewound a couple times. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, it feels like they couldn't do reshoots to like get him that information, so they just made a new scene completely.
Which one thing I was bummed about is not enough interrogation. Because one of my favorite things about Punisher is just the way he'll the impromptu torturing.
Yeah,
you don't really you get one moment of that later.
Yeah, but he's not really getting information from the guy he tortures.
He finds out where the kids are. When
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna go to war.
Yeah.
He's gonna get all the crime families to go to war. And Sam, this is also very dated, Sam is using these things they call a computer to look up charts and data, or data as some people probably called it back then. And of course, Berkowitz, he's just like, oi, vey, what is this computer?
What, are you going to play Miss Pac-Man on it?
Can we just have you dub Berkowitz? Yeah, and she's like, yo, look, it's all the trackings of where he's been and murders like him. We could triangulate the thing. And he's just like, computers, whatever. It's like, okay, well, you haven't done anything. But he's like, I checked everywhere in the city. She's like, what about below it?
Well, he's like, I checked above the city, next to the city, around, perpendicular, parallel.
She's like, what about underneath? He's like, I didn't think about it. I gotta work this character into the comics. You know, we need to reboot Punisher. I need Manny to play Berkowitz, and I need you to write his dialogue. It would be the perfect combination. Then we get a Yakuza kidnapping kids montage, where like they're pretty brazen about it. Like they just grabbed the one girl right outside the school in front of everybody, but like the other one has a babysitter with a teddy bear, and they shoot the teddy bear and her. And it's like, man, you guys are really mean.
Yeah, I think that they're trying to. Okay, of course they're trying to add stakes. So now there's innocent people, innocent lives that are in the balance. And I guess because it's mob kids, it adds that interesting wrinkle where it's like, well, you're going to help the kids, even though that also means helping their evil parents.
Yeah.
And of course, the movie doesn't like lean that much into all of that, but I see what they were going for.
This and Warzone have that kind of like cool thing where it's like he kind of has to team up with the people he hates, or he's like kind of intertwined. Right. He needs to like use the people he hates to stop some other thing, which I think is interesting because he has to like suppress his urge to just kill them.
I think it's interesting in theory, and the movie doesn't do enough with it.
Yeah.
You get like one line. It's like, Frank, why did he kill so many people?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, and you're right. Like the big chunk of that isn't until the very, very end. Yeah. But yeah, drunk guy wanders into Punisher's tunnels. And again, it does feel like a horror movie where it's like all black and he can't get the light, and then he's just there in the darkness. I thought that was cool.
It feels like a horror movie until bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. I better get out of here on the double. This is when he goes into rhyming.
The children of the new bosses are now counted among their losses.
Well, no, he's telling Punisher about how the mob has all their kids got kidnapped.
Yeah.
And he's like, you got to help them. And Punisher's reluctant.
Yeah.
And then the thespian is like, well, I've tried everything. I only got one more trick left. Let me try rhyming it to him.
Can you do this in rhyme? Okay, now
My God, man, don't you see? This is the result of your 5-year killing spree. You weaken the father to such degrees they couldn't protect their own families.
You think he's just freestyling? Did he write this on the way there?
I found a copy of the script online.
Oh.
A lot of it lines up. And then I looked up this scene. This rhyming stuff is not in there. So maybe he came up with it on the day.
You think this was an actor's choice?
I think it might have been.
Or maybe you're just looking at an earlier draft.
It could be that, yeah.
It could be an earlier draft, or it could just be the actor like, I have a funny idea for my character.
Like, whatever, just do it.
This will, when people see me on the big screen in the United States, they'll put me in all their movies. It's like, oh no, didn't get a release, buddy. I'm sorry.
He was waiting for the call when like Warzone was coming out, and he's like, surely.
Surely this time. Franco tells everyone the story about Tanaka, the only one she ever loved, I guess, besides her half daughter that she has in the movie.
Yeah, they make a point of like, that's her adopted daughter.
Yeah.
She's mute. And she's very good at fighting.
And she doesn't have a name. She's literally just Tanaka's daughter. Anyway, besides that, the only person she ever loved was her twin brother. But her twin brother was taking money from the Yakuza. Mm-hmm. And the heads of the Yakuza, before they promoted her, were like, hey, you got to show some loyalty to us. So she murdered her fucking brother.
Yeah, brought him home, cooked him a nice meal, and then slit his throat.
Yep. That's how ruthless she is. So they're like, we can't fight with that. We're just soulless Italians here. How do we deal with an evil Japanese lady? I'll have this war between the Japanese and the Italians in this movie. And then what the hell is Dolph? Isn't he Russian? He's just coming in out of nowhere.
That's true. This is very confusing, the geopolitics of this.
The black Jewish guy doesn't make things any better. It's like, it's all over the place here. Yeah, you're right. You're right. White adopted ninja lady. Okay. So the families are all going to meet with Tanaka.
Right.
Because they're like, well, now we have to do what she says to get our kids back. And Franco's just like, I'm not going to that meeting. Because he's smart. Everyone else should have been like, oh, yeah, this feels like a trap.
I would ask more questions. Like, well, why aren't you going?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, let's listen to hear him out at least.
Why aren't you going? It's like, oh, I got business or something. What would his excuse be? That's the thing. The writer couldn't think of a good excuse. So he's like, and now the scene is over. They're like, oh, okay. I love that we see bad guys in the office building. They get off at the floor with a ninja school.
Yeah,
everyone's practicing all their samurai moves and whatnot. And then we see where Tanaka has the children prisoner. I almost said Punisher. Children Punisher. She has them all prisoner, and I like that Tommy is just a real prick to those guys.
It's one of them over the back with a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were like, you know what, kid, we got to separate you. You're an asshole. So yeah, they get him out of there, and then we get to see an underground casino party. And at first, because we follow this girl go into the club, which reminded me of the opening of Roadhouse, where we follow that girl go in the club. But for a minute, I thought like that girl was going to be like Sam undercover. But no, that was just a cute girl that we followed into the club who had nothing to do with anything. I'm like, it made sense in Roadhouse because they're like entering us into this crazy world. But I'm just like, I thought that was a character that we were supposed to know. We lingered on her for a while.
Yeah, I mean, for all you know, with the stuff that's getting cut out of this movie, maybe she was somebody we were supposed to. I assume that with Tanaka's daughter, there had to be more on the page that they planned to do with
By the way, this place looks awesome. They got slot machines everywhere. Everyone's smoking indoors. And then you got a guy in a Speedo just spinning girls around, and then you have one muscly lady just flexing.
I would have liked
and cut to a mobster going, yes, I approve of this.
When Punisher got in there, I would have liked him to be like, what the hell is going on here?
What the?
Actually, this is pretty nice.
Seems like a pretty cool place. Wish it wasn't run by criminals. How does he know they're all bad guys? Like, how the dancers? Does he spare the dancers?
It seemed like he was mainly targeting the actual machines themselves. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like somehow these stray bullets aren't hitting anybody.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is, if you're going to show me a really muscly dude spinning girls around and then a super roided out girl, I'm going to need to see the Punisher fight them. And we don't get a fight with that. They just run away. I'm like, nah, I think we needed to see that.
Yeah.
We really needed to see that fight scene.
Got to save something for the sequel.
Yeah, the sequel, I'm sure, would have been all about that. Yeah, I have it here. Looks like a fun time. Sure hope no one gets punished. And then he bursts through the top of the window like Batman. I think at this point, because, I mean, this came out after Batman, but it's probably being filmed around the same time. They probably saw the trailer of Batman bursting through the window.
To come through a ceiling.
And any other time I would have said that was a coincidence, except there is a cheap shot to Batman later on. I'm like, okay, I feel like they were just trying, kind of like every superhero movie was doing the 3-point landing at some point. I'm like, okay, you guys are all kind of taken from each other. So yeah, starts punishing everyone, destroys the club. He shoots for a very long time. It's pretty cool.
I love his shooting gun face where he's like,
the detectives investigate the damage, and Sam thinks that Frank took the kids.
yeah, which I did not. So we don't know much about Sam.
Yeah.
It's weird because she's like, I really want to work with you because I believe Frank Castle is the Punisher. So it comes across like she almost, I don't know, she like believes in what he's doing, or she's like big into the Punisher. And yet she doesn't know his MO, that he's not going to kidnap a bunch of kids. And then he's like, I don't believe it was him. And she's like, you got a reason to believe that? And he goes, I got 2. And he pulls out a picture of Frank's kids.
Yes.
Like, you don't know the story that he had kids that were murdered by the
maybe
mob?
she doesn't.
She's
she
not
didn't
connecting
know
these
Frank
dots?
though. I can see her.
Her little Miss Pac-Man computer can't connect these dots for her.
Again, she never really spent time with Frank, so maybe she's just like, well, they killed his kids. Now he wants to kill their kids.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sure. Okay. I buy it.
She didn't see him being a good dad. Like, she knew he had kids. But yeah, he's just like, I got 2 reasons it'll never happen. Which, by the way, I forget if we already skipped it or not, but there is a scene of him like thinking about his kids, and it's clearly like deleted scenes.
It's when he pulls out the picture of the 2 kids. It cuts to Frank looking at the same picture.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think it goes into the flashback.
Yeah, and in the flashback, his daughters are wearing Spider-Man pajamas.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Which apparently that was like, the director said that was a nod to his origin coming from a Spider-Man comic, which is funny. People complaining about, there's this new thing on film Twitter where if there's more than one superhero in a film Twitter gets upset because they're like, why can't they just have their own movie? And I'm like, yeah, but if you read a comic, like, they're all in each other's comics all the time.
Yeah, that's the same as like when DC was jumping into Justice League and not establishing every hero in their own movie first. I mean, that movie did not work.
No.
But I don't think it's because you had too many characters. I'm like, Ocean's 11 has 11 characters. Like, you can do a movie with many
I think people are
cast.
just stuck to the old like method, like before their shared universes. So
Yeah.
like they're not adjusted. I'm like, yeah, but like, can't even have his own movie. Punisher's in it. I'm like, Punisher was from a Spider-Man comic. Like, that's,
I guess to be
his
fair
origin.
with Spider-Man, he has been paired with somebody in every movie so far.
Yeah, but he's always the main character.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get like, people are like, oh, Superman's going to have the Justice League again. When he's going to get his own movie? I'm like, no, he's the main guy.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. And like, I like the James Gunn approach where he's doing an alternate reality where heroes have been around for a long time, to the point where it would be weird if they didn't show up.
Yeah.
And that happened in comics all the time. Like you said, like other characters would just stroll in.
A lot of these characters come from, Wolverine is from a Hulk comic.
Yeah.
It's weird that Wolverine was not in a Hulk movie, to be honest. So yeah, I like that little nod of them wearing the Spider-Man outfits. I wonder what that scene really was. I mean, it's clearly him playing with his kids, but I like that they tried to salvage whatever they shot into these flashbacks.
Right.
Okay, so the drunk guy leads him to an abandoned amusement park on Coney Island because they put a big sign that says Coney Island.
Right. Coney Island, New York, New York.
It'd be great if they just panned over and you just see the Opera House. Oh, what was it? I think it was Mariah Carey's movie Glitter was supposed to be in New York, but I think they filmed in Toronto. And if I remember right, there's like Toronto landmarks all over. And they're like, we're here in New York City. So yeah, he gets into the amusement park.
He rides his motorcycle through the front door.
Yeah. And, you know, not to be outdone, the Yakuza were like, well, we got all these cool, wacky slides. We're going to go down the slides with guns. Because when I want to shoot someone, what I want to do is constantly be moving up and down and not be able to aim at all. In a line, all pointing in one direction. So I might shoot the guy next to me if they're a little heavier. Although I appreciated this. Like, I like this kind of wackiness.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's
I
comic
think
book.
it's, you have to lean in. If you're going to go for a serious movie or something wacky.
Yeah.
And if you've got a bunch of slides and you've got the Yakuza, you have them go down the slides.
It's fun. It's fun. I feel like people now would be like, what? They would say what I would say, but like legitimately.
Yeah, without the irony.
And I'm like, yeah, but this is like comic book movie, so they can get a little wacky. It's fine. Oh yeah, so they go down. They're all fighting with him, and I like that Frank, for 5 years, he's been trained to fight Italians. He is not trained to fight Japanese guys, and they kind of beat the shit out of him.
Like a sword. What is this thing? It's like
What
a
is
knife,
this?
but longer.
They're doing this, but then ninja stars fly out. I'm just used to them doing this with their hand and yelling at me. So yeah, they beat the shit out of him, and then they just don't kill him.
Well, they got to torture. Yeah, it was a little weird. They're torturing him for information. I'm like, what information?
Yeah,
do you
well,
need?
I guess they didn't do their research into who the Punisher
Hey, who
was.
sent you?
Yeah, that's the thing. They want to know who he works for. I'm like, no one.
Yeah.
Everyone knows he doesn't work. Again, maybe some lines where Tanaka previously could have been like, the Punisher must be working for one of the families to do their dirty work or something. Like, something there.
It's like you already got those families under your thumb anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, she's established how smart she is. She's been investigating everyone. Like, you didn't investigate what the Punisher was doing? She's like, oh yeah, your people are all wiped out. I don't know why. This is the Punisher.
Must be the stress. That's what Franco says earlier.
I do like his like quirky stuff. Like here he goes, she goes, who sent you? He goes, Batman.
Who sent you?
Batman.
He says Batman?
Yeah.
I have to rewatch. I don't know if that is not in the version I saw or something, but I don't remember
Well,
that.
yeah, he
I
says
feel like I
Batman.
would have remembered that.
Yeah, he says, who sent you, Batman?
Huh.
Am I
I
lying?
don't know, unless he was like bad men.
No,
I don't know.
I think it says
I don't remember
Batman.
that. Okay.
I think it was a wink and a nod to the other movie that was...
A subtle wink, saying his name out loud.
Because when they wrote this, they're like, this will be funny when they walk out of Batman and go into our movie in the same theater. They also torture his poor drunk friend.
He did a remarkable job at taking the torture. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's not Frank Castle. He doesn't
No.
have the mental capacity to put up with, unless like the alcohol has just burned out all of his like pain sensors. But he's kind of just like, but he's okay.
Frank at no point tries to get that guy help with his drinking problem. Again, Frank, not trying to help people, trying to kill bad guys.
All he does is complain. He's like that this guy's not on time. He's 4 hours late.
Frank, you
Like,
should
what
tell
do you
him-
expect?
But he's like, but if he stops drinking, then he won't be able to be my informant. It's like, yeah, but don't you want to help your buddy out? No, I want to kill more bad guys.
But I like that it's a more visceral form of torture. I hate when they do just electricity.
Yeah.
I know it would hurt in real life, but there's just something to you push a button and the guy goes, "Ah."
Yeah.
But this is like, you can feel it. You see like his wrist getting like pulled. It's the Braveheart style.
Yeah.
They throw you on. I appreciated that. And I like that they didn't drag it out. I'm like, Frank Castle would easily find a way out of this. And he does it with his pinky. He like unscrews this thing.
Yeah, he
I'm like, that
unscrews
looks
the-
so uncomfortable. But of course, Frank Castle.
Yeah, the little
can do
wing
it.
nut is able to get unscrewed. And of course, classic James Bond villain thing. She's like, okay, I got something to do.
Yeah.
And just leaves,
Now, don't you dare try anything while I'm gone.
which we reviewed Austin Powers last year. And there's that thing where it's like, close the door. He's like, wait, don't you want to watch? No, I'm going to assume it all went to plan. Like, we should watch. Why don't we just shoot them? So yeah, he breaks out pretty easily.
Yeah.
And kill. Well, he puts his captor on the torture rack and then puts the women's shoes on him.
Yeah. So did he put the women's shoes on him, or was the guy wearing the shoes already?
No, 'cause I think
you
there
don't
was-
see the shoes earlier.
I think there was a girl in the room though.
And what was was it like walk around in these high heels for a few minutes? Like, because that's torture. For
I guess they thought it'd be funny to put high heels on him
Yeah.
to embarrass him. That was embarrassing back in the day. At the
Yeah.
time this movie was written. Joey C feels different about it these days. He watched this and he went, I'm confused. What was wrong with
He's looking at us like, why were you confused by that?
Clearly that guy went to work with his high heels, obviously. See, Joey, we'll make fun of Gil on Joey episodes, and now it's a Gil episode. We're making fun of Joey.
Are we making fun of him?
Yeah. I am. I don't know what you're doing. I am. Berkowitz tells Sam that Frank taught him to be a good cop again.
This is character development.
Yeah.
This is the backstory. It's the whole reason Berkowitz is so obsessed with finding Frank Castle is that Berkowitz used to be an alcoholic himself.
Yeah.
And then Frank joined the force. He's like, I want to learn from the best. Partnered up with Berkowitz, and over the next few years, taught him to be a good cop again.
Yeah. And he is not helping his other friend lose his drinking problem. Now it's even worse, knowing that Frank helped a guy get off his drinking problem, and he's refusing to help another guy because it benefits him.
Now we know why he really wanted to partner up with him. This is his MO. He's like, the people with drinking problems are easier to control.
Yeah, it's a little manipulative. But yeah, so he owes him. The restaurant meeting was a setup.
Yes.
All the families were there, but it turns out all the people attending, even the old grandma, were hitmen who killed their bodyguards, and then you find out that they were all poisoned. All their glasses were poisoned.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, so she walks in and she starts going, ooh.
Yeah.
And that's when they all start dying. So I was like, wait, is this like some kind of sound like power she
No,
has? It was just the timing of it, though. The drinks were poisoned.
Yeah, well, they said the drinks were poisoned. She goes, no, the glass. So I guess there was poison on the glass.
Right. And the one guy who didn't drink because he was on medication, he's still alive. So they crucify him.
He's pinned to the wall.
With these tiny little like thumbtacks.
Yeah, that was the thing. I'm just like, whenever I see that, I'm just like, can't they just go?
Yeah,
like it'll hurt your hand, but I feel like you could have just pulled them out.
No, I get an infection in my hands. Yeah. Are you crazy?
And they're like through where the bones are, so it's like it's not in the bone. You just go.
Yeah.
So they shoots him in the head.
Yep.
I like that close up with the gun. That was cool. So Frank steals a bus.
Yeah, and there's still a guy in the bus.
Yeah, but I like that he
You missed my stop, and Frank's like, sorry. Here you go. No problem.
It reminds me of the Seinfeld where Kramer.
Yeah, where he's still in the bus.
I kicked him off at the other stop. You still made all the stops. They kept bringing the bell.
And Elaine was like, that's like Batman. He's like, it was like Batman.
So, yeah, I love that he just stops and let him off. Like, all right, buddy, here you go. He tries to load all the kids into the bus, but Kathy is missing.
Right. She went back for her doll.
Yeah.
And then Tommy is locked up separately
Yes.
as Franco's son because of his misbehavior earlier.
Yes.
Where he attacked the guards.
Yeah, so he finds Tommy, and then they have to find Kathy, who they find her with her doll. But yeah, the Punisher gets into a fight with the dude, and little Tommy joins the fight, and then Punisher leaves him behind. He's like, okay, well, I got most of them.
Kid, I gotta get out of here.
They're like, what about Tommy? He's like, we'll go back for him. I gotta get you kids out of here. And then we
Leave me alone about Tommy already.
And then we get an exciting bus chase.
Exciting. There is a bus chase.
It was a fun chase scene. I liked it.
I liked he stopped the bus. It's the thing you always want to try when someone's chasing you. He's like, I'm going to slow down so they accidentally go past me. And it works so they can ram them into a pest control truck and it explodes.
Yeah, it was cool. I love 80s car chases. They're fun. The cops try to stop him with like a blockade, but then he just lets them all out.
Which I like that because I was like, Frank Castle's got principles. He's not gonna prioritize escaping over getting the kids safe. Gives himself up and he gives the kids over to the cops.
Yeah. Although I don't know, the Frank we've been seeing, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just like, if he jumped out of the bus and rolled away, he would just hoped it slowed down by the time he got
that's
there.
fair.
But yeah, he turns himself in. He reunites with Berkowitz, who tells him he doesn't approve of his methods.
Yeah, this was kind of corny because Berkowitz is like, you gotta open up, Frank. Let me in. Tell me your feelings. but it leads into the best line in the movie.
Okay.
You're sick, you know that, don't you? No, I'm not. What do you call 125 murders in 5 years?
Work in progress.
Again, really good dialogue in this. Really good one-line.
For me as a Punisher fan, in growing up, I heard about this movie and I didn't watch it because I heard it was so bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to ruin my image of the character. But if you were to just cut together all the Punisher dialogue, I would have loved it. I mean, he does. I do think Lundgren does a good job of embodying the character. He doesn't wear the skull, but he's just beaten down, so tired that we didn't talk about the 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've heard people online say, it's not supposed to be stubble. It's supposed to be like grease and like oil. Like, he's so dirty.
He does have grease on his body.
Into a perfect 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
And he does look so tired all the time. Sometimes the makeup looks a little bit like overdone.
He is very sweaty in this. They had to like towel him down.
But like in general, I think he does a great job of portraying someone who's barely human anymore. He exists only to punish the guilty.
Yeah, and this is where the limited acting kind of helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was this for He-Man? Keep forgetting, he's just in and out of that movie. There's like long periods of time. You're like, oh, right. This is a He-Man movie.
He does say Batman, by the way. I looked up the transcript. I don't know how I missed it. So you were right.
I was right. Oh, this was the scene where he flashes back and we see the Spider-Man PJs. This is the deleted scene flashback. Oh, I did read that they didn't have Louis Gossett Jr. or Dolph Lundgren like interact until this scene because they wanted it to feel like real. I think that's pretty cool. How you like separate actors so they don't have a lot of chemistry.
Yeah, they do that a lot with like monster villains and stuff too.
Yeah.
They don't want like the cast to get too comfortable around them, so you can have like real fear.
Or was it Save a Private Ryan? Everyone had to go to like training except Matt Damon.
Oh, that's cool.
So the characters would resent him a little bit more.
That's smart.
It was supposed to help their performance.
I am so sick though of on Twitter. Every day there's a new clip where it's like, this is a genuine reaction from the actor. They didn't know blank was going to happen.
Sometimes it's true.
Right. Well, the classic one, I feel like the one that started it all was Alan Rickman when he falls in Die Hard at the end and he's like screaming.
Yeah.
They were like, he didn't know he was going to drop yet.
Yeah, and I think the one with Leonardo DiCaprio breaking the skull in Django Unchained.
Right.
I think
Did you know he was actually bleeding in that scene?
Yeah. But then there's other ones where it's just like, well, there's multiple camera angles on this. This clearly was like staged and shit.
Yeah.
Or you'll look up like the script and it's there. Patton Oswalt kept bringing up some action movie where the guy's on fire and he was just like, yeah, that was all real. And then they were like, no, that was a stunt. We planned that.
You know,
dumb
the
idiot.
other go-to I'm getting sick of is like, do you know this actor had to spend 12 hours in makeup and prosthetics? I believe it. And I know it's a pain, but I feel like now it's come up so often where like I just feel obligated to mention it anytime I do a review. Like I'm talking about Lee Cronin's The Mummy and I'm like, props to her. She spent 7 hours in makeup to become a mummy. But in my head, I'm like, we've heard this so many times. Like it's just, yeah.
There's always someone new who doesn't understand how it works. That's why you got to do it. So yeah, he has the flashback. The news reports on the Punisher. They're like, guess what? It was Frank Castle. Can you believe it? And then they also talk about the missing kids. Including Tommy. They would talk about Tommy, how he's still missing. So Sam chews out Frank, and she mentions that Berkowitz quit.
Yeah.
Like, he quit because of you.
Yeah, I guess it's like all he lived for was to find Frank.
And then he was good.
Yeah, they found him, and now he's just like, I don't know what he wanted exactly, but he didn't get what he wanted, so he's like walking away.
But she's talking to him as he gets into the prison transfer thing, and the prison transfer gets hijacked.
Yeah.
And Frank is kidnapped by Franco's men.
I love how, so he gets like knocked out, and then it cuts to them like doing like smelling
smelling
salt,
salt, yeah.
But like they shoot it from Frank's POV, so it's just like this guy with a big mustache, like in your face, like, like smacking you and stuff. I can't think of a more annoying way to wake up. Like, get off of me.
So then Franco tries to make things better. He's like, hey, your family wasn't supposed to die.
Right.
It's like, well,
I'm sorry.
Like, we never assumed that your wife would also drive your car. How could we know? How would we know? Your family had one car. We thought you would only drive it 100% of the time.
So it's kind of your fault, Frank, when you think about it. Like,
and Frank should have been like, well, what if I was driving with my kids in the back? And, well, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So he's like, okay, that was an accident. I'm sorry, but I need you to help me save my son. So it's kind of cool that the bad guy is calling the good guy for help, which we've seen in other comic stuff.
Yeah.
He threatens to kill Berkowitz. Like, he's not really super nice. He's like, oh, and if you don't, I'll kill your friend. If you don't save my son. He's like, okay, I guess I'll save little Tommy. But yeah, they go into Yakuza territory together. And then, again, Punisher killed all the good guards.
Right.
Berkowitz, like, asked to go to the bathroom and then asked to have his handcuffs off. And then he punches him.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta pee. Can I take my handcuffs off? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Is there an IQ test for this job? There's no. Didn't think so.
And then he just walks out. I'm like, oh, were there no other guards?
Yeah. That is kind of a. So this movie is super low budget. So you're obviously not going to get like amazing fight choreography or anything. But with a movie that has such a thin story, there's got to be some attraction. And I feel like it's like I said before, like low hanging fruit. Like, if they made these bad guys more hateable, if they made them a little more formidable, I think it'd be more satisfying when Punisher's blowing them all away.
Yeah.
But they're so useless.
Yeah.
At no point do they, I mean, to some extent, the Yakuza, they put up a good fight.
Well, not. There's a whole room of them that are about to lose a fight.
Well, that's another example.
In a very embarrassing way. Yeah, so let's talk about that. So they go to the Yakuza building. Tanaka's putting on a geisha show for her daughter.
That's what she does.
I guess she just dresses up like a geisha.
That's we all gotta loosen up somehow. Frank strips naked and talks to God, and she puts on this show.
Yeah, she's really involved with her culture. I know me. I dress up like an opera singer and start singing randomly throughout the day. This is her version of
When
that.
I showed up here,
I was like, "Hello, Gil."
so I'll come back later.
I'm Pagliacci. So yeah, she's doing this whole geisha act. Then this is when we get to the conversation between Franco and Frank, where he's like, "There's a limit to revenge. Guess I haven't reached mine yet."
Yeah, I liked it. But if it does the 125 like work in progress, that is the line.
Yeah.
This one, it's good, but it's not as good as
Well,
that
he
one.
didn't have a good setup, okay?
That's true.
Franco didn't give him a good setup. He did the best he could with the setup.
No, you should have said it's not revenge, it's punishment.
Yeah. That would be used later
While
on.
we're going back and redubbing this movie, I'll throw that line in.
So, they're on the elevator. Which, again, the Yakuza doesn't have like no, not just anyone can go to this elevator. You got to have like a key or something. Like, I don't know, did that not exist in the 80s? I know when I go to YouTube Space, they you can't just go onto the elevator and go to YouTube. There's like a thing you have to do.
I'm going to YouTube today.
I'm going to YouTube. It's like, no, you got to be on a list and like a dude has to get it for you. But no, they just go to the room where all the guys were samurai training.
And they're all dead.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, wait, not one of them had a gun? Like, they all had their, I gotta make sure I say it right. They had their naganatas. I know he uses a naganata later on. That's the stick with the blade on the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Ever watch that show, The League?
No.
Oh, yeah. A guy sings a whole song about that weapon, but he pronounces it wrong, and everyone thinks he's being really racist. That's why I had to say it very, very slow, because I'm just like, no, naganata.
I know how careful you are.
I'm
Always
very
saying the
careful.
right thing.
I'm very careful. But yeah, they all have the blades, and they all just get mowed down. I'm like, wait, why was that the first wave? Why didn't she give them guns? I don't understand. I'm like, wait, you just wiped out all your dudes right away.
There's no way he'll get past them.
Yeah, 40 guys with guns. That'll get him. And then she goes, guns? And they're like, yeah, you give them guns, right? No, they got their stick swords. Like, oh, they're all dead. They're all dead. And I like even the Punisher and the other guy, they almost seemed relieved.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, this will be real easy.
I love throughout this whole fight sequence, they'll be stabbing through those paper walls and ripping through them. It reminded me of the Simpsons episode where they go to Japan.
Homer just keeps walking. I like those kind of fight scenes. They did that in the last Mortal Kombat movie. They had the blade going through. And that show I was watching, Shogun.
Oh yeah.
There was a cool scene where a girl assassin's going through the house with those paper walls and killing everyone through them. Then yeah, at this point, this is when he uses the naginata. And he's fighting the dude, but he kicks the dude on a rack of swords. Or there was a rack of swords where all the blades are pointing up. It only exists so someone could be thrown onto it in a cool way.
It's a really awkward cut. He kicks him, and then it's the camera kind of and it's okay, now he's got 3 swords through him. Okay,
oh, and I forgot they gave what's his face remote for 2 bombs. One bomb will kill the power, or
one of them kills the power, I think, and then one blows up everything.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, that's what
or
it
blows
sounds
up the elevators so no one can get up there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and
but then, of course he drops it into a sewer grate. He's indoors and there's a sewer grate.
Yeah, was he the most reliable person that you could bring on this journey here? I know he's good for getting intel.
Where was Sam?
That's what I was gonna. You got Sam. You got Franco has nobody else he could bring in on this.
Yeah, that's. I guess because Berkowitz was arrested and then he didn't have time to get Sam. So he's just our drunk guy's the only guy. Sam is really kind of pointless other than that computer thing, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
In any other movie, she would be the one that fights the deaf girl.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, you would have found some way to pair get some of these other characters involved.
Yeah.
It is like I was saying before. I mean, this movie is best watched as a supercut of the Punisher scenes. I feel like all the connective tissue in between.
It's a little
is
bit-
like I don't care about Berkowitz going through the sewer looking for Punisher.
Yeah.
I know where Punisher is. And
Yeah,
I
'cause
like watching him. Why
not-
do I want to watch somebody looking for him?
Yeah, it's not fun when we talked about this another superhero movie, the Green Lantern movie. It's annoying and it has so many scenes where they're trying to figure out the Parallax origin, even though the opening narration told us, the audience, everything.
Yeah.
So characters would be like, yes, he was once this. It's like, yeah, I figured that out. You showed it in the beginning of the movie. I'm like, why is this a revelation?
Yeah. It's like that could work,
Yeah.
but like if you're not up to the challenge, just do the normal thing of like it's a mystery to us and the characters.
Yeah.
So you have that
Yeah.
curiosity.
It's annoying. So yeah, they have this cool, there's like this cool fight scene that's all in red. I love the red look in this. I thought it looked awesome.
Pretty much any time a comic book movie does something interesting with the lighting, it's
Yeah.
like super saturated. Warzone's going to do it a bunch.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they find Tommy with Tanaka. She's holding a knife to them. But then Frank gets attacked by the daughter.
Right.
And then do we see Tanaka run away and Franco chase her?
No. Frank gets into the room and throws a knife into her forehead.
No, not that, not
we're
that
not
scene.
there yet. Okay.
So the first scene where they bump into her, and then the daughter comes in and interrupts, and Frank is fighting the daughter. What I'm saying is, do we see Tanaka and Tommy run away and Franco chase them?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I think Frank jumping out later is like a reveal. He got back in time.
Yeah,
I don't think
okay.
we see
So
him.
I was a little confused because during this whole fight scene, I'm just like, wait, are the three of them still like at a stalemate while Frank is having this fight?
They're
Are
just
they?
very awkwardly staring at each other for a while.
But when it cuts back to the fight, after Frank Castle heroically murders that young woman, which I was just like, yeah, we didn't really care back then. Just like, yeah, you're a bad guy, lady. But yeah, it cuts back to Franco like once again teaming up, but not teaming up, but like finding Tanaka. I'm like, oh wait, did she get away? I feel like we missed something here. So I thought it was a Mortal Kombat situation where the whole time Liu Kang is fighting Reptile, you just assume Johnny Cage is outside looking at it and not assisting at all because that was a reshoot. Because it was a reshoot and they couldn't get Lyndon Ashby back. So that whole scene, you got to be like, wait, where's Johnny Cage? Why is Johnny Cage just not? I'm sitting there, this whole fight scene, I really thought Frank was going to walk back in the room and they were still going to be like this. But I guess they cut out, or either we missed her or they cut out a scene where she runs away.
I don't know. We can rewatch it after this to satisfy you and like we'll get our Miss Pac-Man computer out and try and chart the entire fight scene.
The power comes back on. Franco finds Tanaka again. And then she's like, if you kill yourself, I'll let him go. And he's like, how do I know you're going to take your word for it? Or how do I know you're going to do that? And she's like, you don't.
You don't.
So she makes him get on his knees and asks him to shoot himself.
They put the gun in your mouth all the way in.
Yeah.
I think either way, it's going to get the job done.
And this is my favorite thing with movies where someone bursts through a wall to save the day. It's like, how did he know what was on the other side of that wall? Frank burst in throwing the knife and he just knew exactly where she was going to stand.
Yeah. He's not like Daredevil where he's like, he can hear the sonar.
Yeah. What was it? We talked about you ever see The Lost Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the grandfather drives his truck through there. I was like, wait, but how did he know where everyone was in that room? He would have killed. Oh, we talked about in the Prophecy recently. The dude drives the truck through the little hut. It was like, there were all the Native Americans were in there. How did he know he wasn't going to run them over?
How'd you know that guy was there? What guy?
So yeah, I like that he burst. I love it. It's a cool scene. It is a little Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China with the knife to the head. But yeah, he just walks in, boom, lady, and she's just down. I'm like, oh, okay. Thought there would be a cooler death for her, but that's it.
No, they used up the rest of their fight budget on the fighting the mute girl.
Yeah. It was a good fight scene though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so everyone's saved. And then Frank was like, Tommy, why don't you hang out outside? And then he's like, sorry, Frank, I gotta kill you because I'm gonna leave everything to him. And when he's older, you're gonna kill him. And it's like, well, I mean, you're banking on the Punisher survive. I mean, he has survived 5 years, but at some point, he's gonna get a bullet.
But why put it up to chance?
Yeah, that's true.
Just shoot him in the head right now.
Just shoot him in the head right now. So they get into a fight, and even little Tommy's like, no! And he tries to help the Punisher get off his dad. And then we get one of these moments, which you would see in movies all the time. And when I was in high school, I put this at the end of a short film I made, where two guys are wrestling over a gun and there's a gunshot.
Oh,
And you don't know which one was shot.
yeah. And they both react like,
Yeah. And then the guy who always gets shot is always shocked that he was shot. He's like, why did you not feel the bullet go in? I would be like, ow, ow. I'd be like screaming and cursing. Instead, they're always like, was I just shot?
oh, and then they do this move. All the blood on their hand.
Now I know I'm shot. I'm like, yeah, you would feel the bullet inside you.
I've gotten sick of that. The one I haven't gotten sick of is like you slice somebody and they're like, and then their head like topples off. I'll never get tired
That's
of that.
one. That's one. I haven't seen the shooting thing in a long time. I'm trying to think.
I feel like I have, but I can't remember what it was in.
If I was parodying it in 2005,
It would be
I'm
like every other
guessing.
scene.
I'm guessing the trope had run its course. I think it's due for a comeback.
Yeah.
I think it needs to come back. So yeah, Franco dies, and then Tommy threatens to kill the Punisher, and the Punisher just almost lets him.
Have you seen that meme of like the 3-year-old with a water gun?
Yeah.
And then he's like crying. It's like that. I can't shoot.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's probably that 'cause the kid holds the gun up to Punisher and then starts crying and puts the gun down.
But I think the Punisher's like, yeah, maybe if you kill me, you'll feel guilty and not grow up to be a bad guy. But then he doesn't kill him, and the Punisher's just like, gotta look out for that kid.
I love his
Gotta keep an
line.
eye on him.
You're a good boy, Tommy. Grow up to be a good man. He could have stopped there, but then he goes on, because if not, I'll be waiting. You're threatening like a 6-year-old.
The kid should be like, dude, you're gonna be like in your 60s or something, right?
Hey, when Punisher Max showed us that an older Punisher is even scarier, if anything.
Oh, okay. I disagree with that. As someone who's had to watch several of my heroes from my youth come back as old men, I'm like, no, actually, they do not get scarier. If anything,
I mean, it'd be
sad.
It'd be tough to screw up Punisher in like a Legacy sequel where it's like, this is going to be him, but he's all old and sad and broke. I mean, he kind of already was sad. So I don't know how much deeper.
The only
in the hole you
benefit
can put
there
him.
is that he mostly uses guns.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps. Like when we were going through all the Tremors movies, Bert, the big gun guy, it wasn't as annoying him getting older. I'm like, well, the gun is kind of doing most of the work in
you
those.
don't need all the people he's fighting to slow down so it can look realistic.
Yeah. But yeah, kid chickens out. The cops arrive and Frank disappears.
Yeah, you get classic Berkowitz on the roof of the building. He's like, Frank!
Frank! And that's the end of Punisher 1989. Gil, I actually really enjoyed this movie. As someone who likes like 80s revenge films, and like, dirty cop film. Like I'm the guy who made Mummy Cop. So a lot of cheesy dialogue, excessive action, wacky characters. Like I kind of really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I think it has to have see, all those qualifiers you gave before saying you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
This is the kind of movie that requires a lot of those.
Yeah.
Like if you're not a Punisher fan, if you're not into the cheesy action.
I forgot because he wasn't wearing the skull. I forgot that it was a Punisher movie, really. And I was just like, I'm just kind of enjoying this as an 80s action film.
Yeah.
Which kind of how I feel like about the 2004 movie as well. Like the Punisher that, again, I haven't read a lot of Punisher, but I'm like, this doesn't really feel like the Punisher I read in the books, but it's just a really good revenge film. Yeah.
I think there's going to be like I was saying earlier, when we're not with Frank, when you're with Berkowitz or you're with the mob, the mob scenes are like the cheesiest. Like you feel like you're watching Fat Tony and The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's like, I got 600 kilos of pure junk coming in. Like this stuff is that's the boring stuff you have to get through. There's definitely fun to be had with the Punisher stuff.
I wonder, because this was 89. I wonder if the 88 writer strike affected this at all. Because there was that famous writer strike in the late 80s. That's why we talked about it in the Batman episode. That's why the third act of Batman's like all over the place.
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, now he has a plane. He's just shooting everyone. It's like, why? Now he's going up the cathedral. It's like, wait, why does anyone have to go up the cathedral? Why don't they just drive away? It's like, I don't know. Some other writer came in. Oh, by the way, the Joker killed Batman's parents. And then the actual writer for years has to be like, I didn't do that. I was on strike. But I wonder if that's like one of the things that affected this. Maybe it could, because you could have tightened up the script a little bit.
Oh, could this would that have affected them? Like this was in Australia, right? Was this one of those things where like the American writers were on strike? I don't know.
I don't know. I guess it was an American. I know they shot it in Australia because New Horizon had a thing there, but I assume it was an American production. I don't know, but this did have some consultants on there, Stan Lee and whatnot. Marvel did consult on this film, but I guess they didn't listen to them too much. I feel like Stan Lee should have been like, "You're gonna want that skull on his shirt."
He
at
talked
least.
about that for years after.
Yeah.
I feel like.
But no, I really dig this film. And I know I have the VHS there, but I did look up a Blu-ray copy of this, and it looks really good.
I would be curious to hear more of the making of.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear that commentary.
I'm actually bummed this director didn't do. I mean, obviously he had a long career editing some of like the best action movies ever, but I'm actually shocked he didn't do like more movies. It would have been nice to see. I feel like we were robbed of a rich directing career of this guy, or maybe he didn't like directing. I don't know. Yeah. But Dead Heat is awesome. Dead Heat is wacky and awesome. This was wacky and awesome. And I would have liked to have seen more of his directing. But yes, then they years later did the 2004 or 2003?
2004.
2004 with Tom Jane. And we're not going to review that because I already reviewed it on my good friend Wyatt from Cinema Trip. I did that on his channel for the 20th anniversary of that movie. So go there and check out that episode. I also have it on this pod. If you're listening to the podcast feed, I also uploaded it here at some point. But yeah, so what are your final thoughts on this film? Are you ever going to watch it again? Probably with a commentary, but
okay, I might do that. I've watched it twice now in the last 24 hours. I don't think I feel the need to watch it again anytime. Like I said, I mean, there's fun stuff in there, but all the stuff in between is just, which I think is often the problem with like a wacky movie. It's like the wacky parts are fun, but it's easy to forget how much of the movie is not wacky.
Yeah. And you got to remember, again, as you as a Punisher fan, all the stories you're thinking of are probably written after this movie. So you also have to put yourself like back then. They're like, well, what was there really to take from there?
Yeah.
Like we did a Swamp Thing recently, and Swamp Thing at the time the first movie was made was only been around for like 10 years. So there wasn't like decades of rich lore and characters. Right. So they like played around with it a little bit. But yeah, check it out. Gil, where can we find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/one-take-vids.
All right.
And that's where I do all my timeline videos.
Yes.
So the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe in chronological order. But if you're watching this, then you're someone who likes movie opinions and analysis. For that, go over to my second channel, youtube.com/@GilExplainsMovies.
Nice. And I'm going to spoil it now. I'm going to say it in the video, so we have to do it. Since you've watched all of Marvel, at some point I do want to do 1 or 2 live episodes before Doomsday comes out, where it's me catching up on all the MCU stuff I missed in the last few years.
Okay, I am the man for that job.
Yes.
I will commit to it.
Have you seen all of Star Wars by any chance?
No.
God damn it! I gotta find someone else.
But I'm running out of franchises to timeline.
Yeah.
So at some point I've got to do Star Wars.
I wanted to do it before Mandalorian and Grogu.
I honestly I don't think you're trying to capitalize on hype. I don't think there's hype. I think for Star Wars we have to wait for maybe Starfighter, the Gosling movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, that'll give me
not
time.
Missing your chance
that'll give me
now.
time to watch all of The Acolyte.
Yes.
I do need to watch season 3 of the goddamn Lizzo Mandalorian show. So I need to know what Jack Black and Lizzo's characters are all about. Yeah. So when I go see the Jack Black Lizzo Star Wars movie,
Christopher Lloyd was in that scene too, right? It was like the wackiest scene.
How would I know? I didn't watch it. Gil, I don't really remember. I don't really remember Mandalorian season 2 that well.
This is one of you like turn it around on me because you're talking about it. I chime in. And you're like, I don't know. You're like, trying to separate yourself from it. Remember when Gil was talking about Mandalorian?
It was so funny because now people are trying to shit on Mandalorian, and the one was just like, I really miss when this was a bounty hunting show, and now it's all about like being a superhero. And I'm just like, that was my complaint with the first episode. Stop being a bounty hunting show in the first episode. But yeah, so look forward to at some point. What did I catching up with MCU? How many phases after Endgame? How many phases?
Okay, so Thunderbolts ended Phase 5. Fantastic Four kicked off 6. That's where we're at right now.
Okay.
But it's like very inconsistent though. Some phases are 5 or 6 movies.
Yeah.
And then I think 3 was 11 movies. And that's when you start getting the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's mostly going to probably be Disney Plus shows. The only movie I missed was The Marvels. Okay. And I'm going from like when the show started. So anything I missed that's aired since this show started. Mm-hmm. So well, maybe Eternals. I'm not doing Eternals. I saw Eternals. Whatever I missed, I will go back and watch it. So Miss Marvel, can't wait to watch that. Werewolf by Night.
I liked Werewolf by Night.
People told me that was good. Loki season 2.
There's some stuff in there.
I enjoyed season 1, but I got to watch season 2. I need to know more about Kang.
Yeah, big villain setup there. Get excited for the Kang dynasty.
He's in a Daily Wire movie now. That career did not go where I thought it was going to go.
Falls through the window. It's just like awkward shot. Did you get that? Use that. I'm like, I don't know.
It's like I was going to be in Avengers. God damn it. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think of Punisher 89. And we'll be back at some point in the future to talk about Punisher Warzone. Oh, and I guess whatever month the new short comes out, we will talk about it on the wrap up. Mm-hmm. That new, what is it called? One Last Kill?
One Last Kill.
I bet you
this
it's
is
not.
The last Punisher movie. And then Spider-Man Brand New Day comes
Spider-Man
out.
Brand New Day.
So I assume he'll kill people there too.
Or you think he's going to turn over? You think he's going to become like the animated series Punisher who uses non-lethal weapons?
I think Marvel, a couple years ago, they decided, look, we tried making bad movies. It didn't work. Let's try making good movies. Let's give fans what they want.
Yeah, the Brand New Day looks fun, but we will be the authority on that. We will come back and let you know how it is. Anyway, that's it from us. Goodbye, everyone.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.